Hello there everybody, and welcome to just a quick walk around of the latest offering from Ritchie Campers. This isn't intended to be a sort of a fancy artsy van tour, but if you're interested in buying, then we can have a good look around it. So here she is. It's a 2021 Peugeot Boxer Professional medium wheelbase. It's got blackout windows on the side, brand new tyres all around, and the bodywork is just in absolutely fantastic condition. There really isn't much here. There's a small bit of glue here from where I put the windows in. That is going to be cleaned off. I've given this van a very quick clean over, but as you can probably see, it is raining, so I didn't want to give it too much of a clean up. So the back again is in really good condition. You've got reversing sensors on the back bumper there. The van did come with these locks for vans, additional locks on. They essentially take the place of the door handle. So when you pull the door handle, it doesn't do anything. You had to put the key in. Anyway, so I've had to reverse that so that the door handle then again opens the door, but those locks there are a very nice little deterrent for anybody trying to break in. So this side, the sliding door side, is again very good condition. I really only buy vans with very good bodywork on. The van's done 50,000 miles, or just under 50,000 miles, but by the time it is sold, I imagine it might have just ticked over that 50,000 mile mark. Okay, so the cab, I'll just show you in the cab. The cab is very clean. It's had a new driver's seat. It is full of sawdust at the moment, and it will get a real good cleaning. There you go, you can see the mileage there, 49,000. It's just gone off. So the van comes with air conditioning, cruise control, speed limiter, sat nav, Bluetooth for your phone. Everything works. The seats are comfortable. This middle seat pulls down into a table rest with a nice high vis vest there. As I say, the seats are just covered in dust, but we will get rid of all of that once somebody's coming to look at it. The only bit of damage really in the cab that I have found is up here. It's kind of there's obviously been something put on here and then taken off, just whatever the vehicle's previous life was, maybe some sort of unit. And then under here, the floor needed a tiny little repair, which I've repaired, and then got some fitted car mats to then go down again. So there's the cab, very clean, very tidy. Doors all shut really lovely. No problems there at all. Right, now into the exciting bit, which is the interior. So this is where I've spent all of my time recently. So I shall take my shoes off and just come inside. So when closing this door, on the microphone it sounds really loud, but in person it's not so bad. It's not that bad at all, but it kind of reverberates with the microphone. Anyway, so the difficulty of filming in a camper van is it always seems very small. It's very difficult to film, especially for somebody who is not as adept at filming as I am. But here we are. So if we start at the back, because that makes things a bit easier. So up at the top here, we've got two reading lights. They have USB sockets on them, and they turn on and off, and they also dim in the brightness. You can move those around for when you're in bed. The bed is a small double, so it's 120 centimetres wide. I'm not too sure on the length. I will check that and put it in the description. I am 6'2", and I kind of just fit in it. So I would say sort of under 6 foot, you'll be absolutely fine. Over 6 foot, you might have to curl up a bit. Overhead storage cupboards. In here, you can get 5 of these rope baskets that will hopefully soften up as you use them. But I'm imagining you can put loads of clothes in there, etc. If you need more clothes than this, then I would suggest probably keeping like a bag of clothes under the bed, living from your baskets, and then when those baskets are empty and all of that stuff's in your washing basket, then you can go to your bag underneath and refill your baskets. I've lived in a van for 5 years, and that's what I do, and it works real well. So, moving forward from the bed, the bed is a memory foam. It's brand new. In fact, if you can hear the crinkling, it's still got the plastic on it. So, yeah, the bed is brand new. Just in front of the bed, what we've got are 2 seats. With these 2 seats, there is a piece that goes down in between them and another cushion, which is in this cupboard. I'll show you in a moment. That's just where I'm using to store it at the moment. So this can become a third bed for a child, as it's a 3-seat in the front. You can also sleep 3 people back here as well, fairly comfortably as well. I would say it's not kind of an afterthought of a bed. You know, there's you can definitely sleep in it. The cushions are thick. You can't really tell from the angle on the phone, but they are thick, firm luxury foam with wadding on top. You know, these seats are like super comfy, and they've got some cushions on there as well to make them even more comfortable. Just down here we have the exhaust for the diesel heater. So the diesel heater is in the boot. We'll show you that in a moment. And then just above that is the pull-out table. So the pull-out table matches the solid beach table. It is the same piece of wood, and so it all looks absolutely beautiful. It all ties it in together, and the front of the table is made of the same piece as well. So again, that all kind of ties in. Under this seat there is a kind of a large space to store anything. Again, we've put another one of these rope baskets in there, so you could use that to stuff kind of whatever you want in there. Whatever you're going to use your camper van for, you're going to need some storage space, and under there is pretty good. So on this side, the small seat has got a front on it, and in there is a Trulino composting toilet. I think I'm going to put some little felt feet on the bottom of it. But there is a composting loo. It's brand new. It's never been used. And that fits nicely under there. All the doors close onto magnets. So when you're not travelling about, then they kind of stay shut. And then when you are travelling, you can just turn the little butterfly catches, and it will just keep the doors closed as you're driving. Stop all your stuff from flying out. So the windows are on both sides. The one on the driver's side opens. The one on the door side doesn't. My theory behind that is, if you want to open a window, you could just crack the door a little bit, so it opens up there. We do have on order two roller blinds. They're a navy blue blackout roller blind, and they will be installed in the window frames before anybody comes to see it. So above the kitchen, as you walk through the door, there is a large kind of oil painting of the beach. We've kind of made this as a bit of a beach hut, kind of a bit of a beach hut theme. So we do have some nautical things going on here. So, but behind that canvas is just a plain wall, kind of exactly like this wall here. So behind that, you could put whatever you want. If you wanted to put shelves or baskets or kind of whatever you wanted up there, no problem. The canvas is just held on by 4 screws, so hardly any damage on the wall as well. So moving forwards, we do have another picture. So again, this picture frame can be, the picture in here can be changed for whatever you want. I've just put this kind of little sea animal-y print in there. But behind that, which is held on with magnets, is kind of an escape hatch into the cab. Again, scale is always a bit difficult to film on a phone, but the width of the seat is only kind of half the width of the hatch. So it's a big enough hatch for you to get through in the middle of the night if you absolutely had to. Not that I know anybody that's ever had to use their escape hatch, but they're always nice to have. A couple of shelves. They are kind of wood effect shelves, and they're screwed in. They don't rattle. The van is surprisingly quiet to drive. Not surprisingly quiet to drive. I think most of the builds that we do are quiet to drive, but nothing rattles around in the back of this. It's yeah, it's a very, very, very nice van to drive. Actually, it drives lovely. The turning circle on it is incredible. Next up, I kind of call this like a little cleaning caddy. So there's a holder for toilet kitchen roll, and you can also put like soaps and washing up liquids, and, you know, toothbrushes, whatever you want, that sort of thing in there. So, oh, sorry, let's go to these tiles. So just below the tiles, just below those are the tiles. These are Moroccan handmade tiles, and they're absolutely gorgeous. They're just stunning. They really set the whole thing off. They're edged with a kind of a silver edging that I've bent. There's no cuts on it. There's no sharp edges. It's lovely. It's really nice, actually. It's very good. In the corner here is the kind of the outlet for your 240 volt sockets. So you've got 3 240 volt sockets there. They're connected to your inverter that's in the boot, so you can use kind of up to 3 appliances. I'll talk anybody if you're not up to scratch with your electrics. I can talk you through all of that sort of stuff to make sure that you're using everything nice and safely. But yeah, the electrics kind of are very simple. I tried to keep them as simple as possible so that, you know, they're really nice and safe, and yeah, they're you know that they're going to work, and if they don't work, you can figure out why they don't work. Anyway, here's your little tower. It's got some USB sockets as well, so there's 2 USB-C and 1 standard USB socket, and that just pushes down back into the cupboard. So moving along to the cooker, we've got a Dometic 9222, so it's your very tried and true camper van sink and hob unit. This is the exact one that I've used for sort of 5-6 years now, and it hasn't skipped a beat. It's been absolutely fabulous, so I won't put anything else in. The water is attached to kind of the water cupboard underneath, which contains a 25 litre bottle for your fresh water, a 10 litre bottle for your wastewater, and there's an additional 10 litre bottle there that you can use to kind of fill up your big tank. So you can either fill up with a hose pipe, or with this system you can take the bottles out to fill them and then bring them back and put them back in, and I think that works extremely well. I find it a lot simpler than having a really big fixed tank in the boot that is, you know, subject to cause problems. So yeah, that's it. Very simple water system. I think the way that we build vans is everything is rather simple, but it is all sort of pretty well put together, so it kind of all works really well. Just next to that is a large cupboard. I would kind of call this your pantry. I would say there is plenty of space in there for food. You could probably get food and pots and pans and probably some plates and stuff as well, but then the cupboard next door is also rather cavernous, so there's plenty of space for anything you need to put in. So again, we'll just turn those couches across. So coming up to kind of the last cupboard, this is where I've just been keeping this extra cushion to make the kids' bed, which I'll pop there. We have this is a full-size kind of double kitchen unit. So, you know, anything that you think you could fit in like a big double kitchen unit, you can put in there. The electrics for the pop-up thing are just in the back there as well. So there's that. We do have a shelf to go across, and with all the connectors and stuff, it's in the workshop. And so if anybody, or when somebody comes to buy it, I can say, where do you want this shelf? And we'll put the shelf in where they want it. They might have some specific things that they want to keep in there. So the small cushion is kind of upholstered in exactly the same way as the other two, and will just sit onto a piece of wood on there, making a third bed. So that's kind of the interior of the van. I apologise for the janky filming, but yeah, it's you know, the finished quality is lovely. Oh, the fridge. We have a fridge as well. This large cupboard that pulls out. And there was this additional space here, so There is also kind of extra space for tea towels, etc. This drawer, I believe, does need a final coat of paint just to cover this corking around the side, but that will obviously be done. The fridge is a 20-litre fridge. It's got this little super handy basket on the side as well, so you can keep kind of things separated. The reason I like these kind of taller 20-litre fridges is you can fit like taller things like bottles of wine and like bottles of milk and stuff in there. You know, if you've got one of the sort of squatter ones that are like longer and squatter, then you kind of have to lie bottles down and then they leak everywhere. So anyway, yeah, 20-litre fridge seems banging. And it's been on since I built the drawer and put it in there. So it's been in for 2 weeks, just running off the solar, and had absolutely no problems whatsoever. So speaking of the roof and the solar, on top of the roof, we've got a 175 watt Renogy solar panel that will kind of keep you running, I would suggest, depending on how much power you use. And also on the roof, we have a max air fan. So, you know, this is the, you know, the decent fan. It's kind of the one you want. It does kind of blend in to the surroundings a little bit. It doesn't stick out. It doesn't look too ugly. So yeah, it's good. And it moves a lot of air, so it keeps you nice and cool in the summer. And also gives you a nice bit of ventilation in the winter as well. Stop you getting so damp. Right, let's go and have a look in the boot and show you kind of the electrics and the gas. And then that'll be it. Doors close lovely. The doors on these Peugeots are rather heavy, but they do close nicely. So in the boot, let's go back here. We kind of have three things of interest. We have a steel purpose-built gas locker for a 6 kilo Cala gas bottle with all the proper regulators and all the copper piped kind of directly. It's kind of hard plumbed in from the gas bottle to the cooker. So no flexible hoses or anything that can get caught up. All-in-one diesel heater. These things are amazing. If you've got a diesel heater with your fuel tank somewhere else, or it's taking fuel from your fuel tank, or and you've got bits and bobs going everywhere, it can be a bit of a nightmare. All in one. Put the fuel in there, press the button on the remote just up by your bed. You can move that remote wherever you like, and you get hot air coming out of there. That's piped through this bit of boxing in that I've put in, and then that goes into the front. Just above it on this side is the electrical system. So the electrical system is all from Renogy. It kind of keeps it all together. We have a 50 amp DC to DC charger that also takes the solar and is a MPPT solar charge controller as well. So that takes all the power that's generated from the vehicle and charges the battery. The battery then discharges to the fuse box, and then the fuse box powers all of the 240 volt appliances. The inverter is just below that, and then that powers your 3-pin plugs in the front. Just behind the inverter, that is the switch for the inverter. So to turn it on and off, you can turn it on and off from a switch that is in under the seat, just where the loo is. So that's all in there. The bed is nice and sturdy. It's supported at the back as well. It is wooden slats, so it's not going to go mouldy. Your table takes up hardly any room in the boot as well, because obviously that pokes it back into the boot. And you can sit here with your doors open and look out over whatever you choose to be looking out over. Mine happens to be the workshop. So thank you very much for for kind of joining me for this little tour. If you've got any other questions, you can drop me a message on Instagram at Ritchie Campers, and or if not, the advert for this vehicle will be on Quirk Campers. So thank you very much, and we'll see you on the next one.